Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the CarveCast. The surroundings are a little bit different today if you're watching on camera. Obviously, if you're listening, you have no idea what my surroundings are, but you may be able to tell the audio is a little bit different, and that's because I'm recording this not on my normal recording device, because I am currently in Zermatt, about a week into my ski trip. I've done about 7 days worth of skiing so far. It's been absolutely spectacular. I will leave all of that for another episode. This episode is very special because I sat down with a friend of mine, Tim, who is the main boot fitter in Julen Sport in Zermatt, which I consider to be the best ski shop in Zermatt, and I've been here a lot. And Tim is by far and away the best boot fitter in Zermatt. And we sat down and we had a really good conversation about boots and all of the stuff around that. So we did this in a shop. So please do forgive any audio issues or video issues throughout this, because it wasn't the easiest thing to do in a fully kind of live working shop with people in and out. So I hope that you get as much out of this as I did. The reason I was there in the first place is because Tim invited me in to have a 3D printed insole made for my ski boot. And actually, I wasn't expecting much from it. I just thought, oh, it's just going to be another insole. And I'll talk about this in more detail in a future episode. But actually, I've been ridiculously impressed with the insole. And the only way I can explain it is, and it's difficult to explain, it's not like transformational as such in terms of your actual skiing performance, but in terms of comfort, it is unbelievable. No matter what insole I've had made, and I've got quite a few of them, I can always feel that I have an insole, and I hope this makes sense. With the 3D printed one, I do not know it is there. It is almost like it's non-existent, but my foot is supported because there are 0 pressure points. So my foot was 3D scanned, all my pressure points were taken on a pressure machine, and then AI made me a print for my insole, and then we 3D printed it in the shop. And I've been skiing it for 2 days and I am insanely impressed, but I will talk about that on another episode. This episode is me sitting down with Tim, like I said, talking about ski boots, talking about fitting, all the stuff around that. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Again, apologies for any audio or video issues, and I will catch you all in the next episode. So here we go, me and Tim talking about ski boots. So I'm here with Tim in Julen Sport in Zermatt. I nearly forgot the name of my favourite place in the world. And I'll tell you a little bit of background about how I met Tim. So a couple of years ago when I started skiing, I had some real issues with boots, and I went on this whole journey. In a previous episode, I think it's number 22, I spent an hour talking about my whole boot journey. But the beginning of the good part of my boot journey started actually right here in this seat with Tim. And I came in for my very first visit actually to Zermatt, and Tim fitted me with my Fisher RC4 with the ZipFit liner, and that was an amazing boot, and I did a review on that and I loved it. I loved everything about that boot. So yeah, and Tim gave me a good boot fitting, and for the first time I understood what a good boot fitting actually meant for your skiing, which is basically a huge percentage of your skiing success. So yeah, this is absolutely. Tim. This is Julen Sport in Zermatt. This is the best ski shop you need to come to if you're going to come to Zermatt. And if you do want a boot fitting, come and see Tim. He will give you a good boot fitting. But today we are here to talk about the Moxis insole for ski boots. Custom insoles. So give us like because we're going to do a separate video on that, but give us a bit of a rundown about exactly like what that is and what the benefits are and how that works.
Yeah, so since actually it's pretty new for us, we have it now for around 2 months in the shop, and we can now 3D print custom footbeds. So we do different analyses. We have a 3D scan of your foot, we do a walking analysis and a standing analysis. And with this data, AI puts it together and we can 3D print the footbed, and the result is for us like phenomenal. We have not seen anything better ourselves.
Amazing,
and yeah, it's really new, exciting, and we really feel it brings something really up for our shop.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we've been through the whole process this morning of creating an insole for my boot, doing the 3D scanning, doing the walking pressure, everything that you need to do it, and it's actually printing right now. So when that's finished, it may even be during this, and we can talk about that after, but I'll have a whole separate video on the creation of that. So what I was going to talk about with Tim now is, when I originally came in 2 years ago, I got the Fisher boots, and at the time they had only just started doing the ZipFit.
Yeah, with the Fisher boots originally. Yeah, exactly.
And ever since I've had those, in comparison to the previous liners, I've been a convert, and I would never use anything other than ZipFit again, which I presume you get a lot, do you?
Yeah, absolutely. We sort of say, as a joke, we say to people, yeah, we destroy their ski boot feeling with giving them a ZipFit.
Yeah.
Because from that moment, we put them in a corner, you can't use anything else.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and obviously you do a lot of the ski instructors here that are skiing, you know, hundreds of days a year.
We do some racers as well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they are one of those things that it's hard to justify because they are expensive, but then once you use it, you realise how much more important this is really than the shell. The shell just needs to fit and be tight, but this is really, you know, a lot of the performance, the comfort, the warmth, and the longevity.
Exactly. Yeah, so the financial aspect of it is also really interesting because in a way you say you pay a bit more, but you also get more out of the boot.
100%.
So you get much more ski days with this than a standard liner.
Yeah, because I was actually saying to Tim earlier, like one of the girls in my group, Holly, she has some boots with the liner that comes with the boot, and after quite literally 50, 60 days, they're cooked, they're completely finished. Whereas these ones that I've got, these are probably close to 200 days, and they have got some bits falling apart, some cracks and whatnot, but you could probably carry on using these for a very long time until they
another 100 days, you could easily get out of it. Of course, you need maybe some glue and some tape, but for sure, it's a lot more life in it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But what I really would like to do is swap these, because they are going out, for one of the ZipFits, and like Tim and I just said, there's no real reason from any perspective to change these to the ZipFit liners, but because I like making the videos and testing and everything else, I kind of want to do it for that as much as anything else. So I'm going to today swap my Fisher ZipFit liner for a actual ZipFit liner that they make themselves, so I can. Okay, yeah, no worries. Tim's just had to go for the client. Yeah, but you have to work around it. You don't really know that until much later on in your journey, when you realise that your boot is inhibiting the performance. Yeah, exactly. But I always refer to it's very cool because you can. For me, it's nice to say it like this, and it makes people understand what you're talking about. So say we're gonna make a cake. In this case, we're gonna make a ski boot cake. First time we make a cake, we're always, by the end of it, when it's done, we're gonna say, oh, maybe next time I'm gonna add some more sugar, some more cream, or some more berries, or whatever. And this is sort of the same thing with your first boot fitting, your first, first ski boot. Yeah. Because without a reference, it's very difficult to get you in to say this is the perfect fit. Right. In a way, you can say there is no perfect fit because you always enhance performance, right? It's always performance comfort. So if you have a more comfortable boot, you say, okay, but I could always have more performance. So if someone comes in, let's say that, like right now, someone walks in through the door, they are new to skiing, they've done one holiday before, or they've practiced at home, this is their first proper ski holiday, so therefore they want to buy a boot, they feel like they're going to be skiing for a long time. Is what approach do you take? Do you obviously measure the feet and try and pick the right boot for them? We check also flexibility, so look if they were sporty in general. Right. We see a lot of things. We're trying to get as much information as possible because of course a young sporty person will for sure get more in a performance fit than a non-sporty person. Okay. Because you will adapt quicker. Okay. But what we do is we actually look into the boot and the foot, and we are still trying to get them in the direction of what we think is a very good fit. And we say, this is actually the boot and the fit you need, right? But we might need to adapt it because where you are in the state of skiing. Right. Okay. And then you can see a little bit how you play in the different volumes or space in the boot. Not to give them the wrong fit, but as close to it still as possible. It's just an adaptation to the person you have. Right. There. And is the philosophy, if they will allow it, for you to always pick a boot that is essentially too small for them and make it fit? Is that the usual approach, or do you try and find something that fits them by default? Yeah, we try to fit as close as possible.
Right.
Like really, we try to make the shell sort of hug their foot. And this is our philosophy.
What percentage of the time can you find a boot that is going to be their perfect fit without adapting?
Oh, quite common.
Oh, really?
Especially you have a huge selection, right?
Right.
We have 100 different models.
Right. Okay.
So I would say 9 out of 10 times we really can find find a perfect boot for everyone. Any combination with, of course, aftermarket liners,
Right. Okay.
and footbeds, and the whole setup. Yes,
Okay.
for sure.
So if someone comes in and they're buying a boot,
Yeah.
and they're at the beginning of their sort of ski journey,
Yeah.
would you always say to them, look, you get a liner with the boot, but a ZipFit is better, or do you not recommend that unless someone is more of a high performance skier, or?
We sort of have a tendency to not give people a ZipFit that don't need it.
Okay.
So if there's a beginner, that there is no other way to give her or him a perfect boot, then give them a ZipFit. We will still recommend ZipFit.
Right. Okay.
So we try to assess the problem instead of forcing everybody into the same thing.
Okay.
So it's not that if we say 10 people, it's not 10 people going to end up with a ZipFit.
Okay.
We're trying to, I would say out of 10 maybe there's 1 or 2, but that's because they're needing it for us to give them the best fit.
Yeah.
There's some people you can give, depending on the volume of the heel, combination with the forefoot, and flexibility, you can find a perfect boot for them out of the box. And then,
Because I noticed you've got the Intuition liners up there.
yeah.
When would you ever recommend those?
It's when somebody actually can't fit into a skinny enough shell and we need to remove space.
Right.
It's really to make it everywhere snugger.
Oh, because
So
it's a big liner.
Yeah, it's sort of like a big volume reducer.
But I presume you can do that with a ZipFit as well, or not as much?
You can, but you create more space in the forefoot with a ZipFit.
Right.
You don't make it smaller. So it's really for skinny people. Like if you say you'd have a beginner, for us this is a good solution. If you have a beginner, you can put them in a softer shell, 95 flex or something like that, and you put an Intuition inside because they have a very skinny foot.
Right.
And then if it becomes a really nice, comfortable setup for somebody that are new to ski boots and skiing,
Okay.
or teenagers, or people with skinny calves, right?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And then with the race boots,
Yeah.
so like those Langs, for example,
Yeah.
or the Atomics, all of those race boots,
Yeah.
that 9 out of 10 of fitting by default into a boot, does that ratio must change, I presume? Like, so if you had 10 people come in for a race boot, what percentage of those are going to need modification?
Yeah. It's actually also, again, not too much. It's
Really?
similar.
Oh, wow.
Because if we assess like what they need, right? Of course, we choose the boot for people. So we can also put an intermediate skier into race boot because of the volume
Right,
of the foot.
right, okay.
So we adapt it all to the individual.
Right.
And this is, I think, what a part of our success is whoever comes in, whatever foot they would have, we can assess that and always find the perfect solution.
Right.
Because we have the options to do that.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot
So
of it.
I wouldn't say it changes. Like yesterday, I think this evening we sold like 3 race boots.
Right.
And not to very high-end skiers, but we make the shell softer, we can add grip walk, we can still make a really nice comfortable boot out of a race boot because the foot is very thin or low volume.
Right.
So we adapt it more to the individual than say, oh, this is a very high performance boot.
So
we
with
adapt
a race boot like that Lang,
Yeah.
you can put grip walk on that, can you?
Yeah.
And what would that do in terms of performance?
Yeah, of course it will be a little bit of a delay because it's rubber instead of just a firm plate on it.
Right. Okay. So but I presume you'd have to be one hell of a skier to notice.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for a lot of normal skiers and normal skiers is fine, and it just give you the extra comfort with walking.
And I
Especially
noticed
in
as
this
well
case.
with the Atomic race boots,
Yeah.
they seem to have like more of an aggressive forward lean angle than the Langs, for example.
Yeah.
Does that ever come into your thinking when you're choosing a boot for somebody, or is it more just the size and
Yeah,
the shape?
that has to do with flexibility. So we always
Right.
check flexibility
Right.
first, because then we adapt it to the boot as well.
Right.
But we can make the boot more upright. We can
Oh,
adjust
right,
the
you can
foot.
yeah. Okay.
We can adjust a lot. So of course we see sometimes that the boots are too aggressive, and then maybe we choose instead of putting them in another solution. For example, Intuition,
Right,
bigger shell
okay.
Intuition,
Oh, okay.
work around it completely like that. But as I say, like individual solutions.
Yeah, because I was thinking I would like to feel what the difference is like between the lean angle on that and the atomic, because I think there's a few degrees.
Yeah, but I think it's also what you feel is of the new Red Series is a bit softer.
Oh,
so it's
really?
very easy to come over it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So it's a feeling.
And what is the most popular boot that generically fits like most people, or is that not the case?
Nordicas.
Oh, really?
Nordica. For us, it's Nordica Technica generally. The boot we sell the most for men and women is Nordica Pro Machine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we sell a lot, of course, because we do boot fitting. We sell a lot of low volume boots. I would say 70% what we're selling is low volume, and the Pro Machines, because combination liner, easy instep and fit is the one boot. I can show you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But this one is okay.
So this is the Pro Machine, 115 latest. This is a muscle boot. It's a really high performance boot. It's really for good skiers, of course. But we can we can adapt it. We also have the 95. I think personally, this is the best liner on the market that comes with the boot.
With
the
the
best
boot, right.
standard liner. If you feel here, it's also cork and it's really firm in the back.
Wow.
So it's not a ZipFit, but it doesn't sit that far away.
So yeah, Tim's just handed me the liner of the Nordica boot, and it's literally got like exposed cork for those of you that are just listening, and it's very like stiff and strong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
it feels
solid
like
liner.
a really high quality boot. Yeah, and I think people don't understand as well that the liner is the part that costs the most money for the boot manufacturer. Yeah, like the actual shell is not expensive.
It's a
to
mold.
make. Yeah,
It's a mold.
But the boot liners are very expensive to make, so that is the most expensive part.
And it's very important.
It really pinches your
Yeah. Feel inside on the Achilles.
Wow. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a great liner.
And then what do you do with it? Do you have to heat mold that, or?
Yeah, we can heat mold the whole liner.
Oh right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So is that something that you would do? Is that something you do by default
Yeah.
on every single person?
Yeah. We always mold. We always
okay.
adapt it.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course, you have some people that are really looking for performance. Maybe we choose to not mold it. We have different ways to assess the issues as well.
Right. Okay.
But normally by default we mold at least the liner.
Yeah, it's funny actually, because one thing that you immediately notice when you compare, well, any liner that is stock to the ZipFit is how much flexibility you have in the toe.
It's much more roomy around the forefoot.
Yeah.
And that's what I said, like if you have a very skinny foot, you might get this feeling, like you have a bit looseness around your
In a
forefoot.
ZipFit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And there's no way to change that, is there really? Other than-
No official good way, yes.
No,
You
yeah.
can add some volume reducer on the boot board and stuff like that. It's always like this.
Yeah. This is so much more.
But it's a great liner.
Yeah.
Like, really
for
great.
sure. Yeah. No, they look really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, my wife has got a Technica
Okay.
boot. Yeah. They're all good, aren't they? Like, there's no bad boot. Really.
There's no bad boot.
No.
It's just bad fits.
It's just a bad boot for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what have you had many people coming in who just want to change their boot because they want BOA, or not? Really?
Yeah, we have people that are saying like, oh, what about this new BOA? I think I need that and change this to something new. People are excited because something new. For sure, we have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good for the industry.
Yeah, it's good for the industry.
Yeah.
As the BOA is a sensitive subject a little
Yeah,
bit.
of course. Yeah.
It's good. It makes people see that there's something happening in the ski industry for sure. Again, it's not for everyone.
No.
And this is the issue.
Yeah.
So often you say somebody comes in for a double BOA, and we compare it maybe with another boot. It doesn't mean in the end the person does end up buying a double BOA.
Yeah.
We're really trying to give them person the best fit no matter what.
Yeah, because I think the biggest issue with boots for someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, it is to have a preference.
Yeah.
You know, the best thing you can do really when you're buying a new boot, and I don't know if you agree, really is to just sit down, not say very much, and let the person give you what is right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the problem
Of
is,
course,
I'm guessing a lot of people come in, they like, I like that one.
Yeah, of course we have that. Not so much, but we have it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like this in this color. And with what you say there with listening, it's really good, but I also believe that a really good boot for air is listening to you.
Yeah.
Because it's about showing what you think is correct, but adapting to the customer.
Yeah.
Because if you force something on, it's also not the correct way.
Yeah.
Because you can easily go in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I always like to, like as I mentioned, the ski boot cake before. I always like to give it a little bit of a reference to your own reference where you're at. So say this is your current boot, and what I see is I think we can get you here. Our goal now is together to get you here, but not here.
Yeah.
So I take you different steps to come here,
Right.
and we can go different approaches, different setups, and just trying to get here. But our goal together is to not get here.
Right, okay.
And that is a very important one.
Yeah.
Because suddenly this is really good to be around here, but when we're over there, then we went in the wrong direction together.
Yeah.
Because I can only give feedbacks onto what I see, right?
Yeah.
My feet are never inside.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And I suppose as well, there is an element where, you know, some of these boots are like, what's the most expensive boot? About 1,000?
Yeah, around 1,000.
Yeah. So if you're spending 1,000, whatever on something, really you might have some sort of taste in terms of the way it looks. Like you kind of, like there is that, isn't there?
Yeah.
But the most important thing, obviously, is to make sure it fits.
Yeah.
And what I went through was noticing that the further you go through your ski journey, the higher performing you get, the tighter you want your boot to be.
Yeah. And your feet adapt, you adapt, you want more support.
Yeah.
It's several factors, but 100%.
But when you're right at the very beginning and you know nothing at all you're really thinking about is comfort, like you do with every other shoe.
Yeah, you want your ski boots, you think your ski boots should be like your sneakers.
Yeah,
like
and
a normal day Nikes.
And it's so hard. That's why people must make so many mistakes on their first ski boot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And not just only that, but also when they ran, the whole mentality is a sneaker mentality we're speaking about.
Yeah.
And if you look at the mountain today, I think in almost every resort, 70-80% of people have too big ski boots.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. My daughter's was 3 sizes too big.
Yeah.
So she's still wearing them 3 years later. Even though, and she's only just grown out of them now.
Oh wow.
And even now, when they actually fit her, she hates it.
Oh really?
Yeah, because all of a sudden they fit her.
Yeah.
She's getting this different, uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
And because she doesn't care about performance, she's a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
All she's thinking is, I want them to be
like a sneaker.
Yeah.
With children, it's again very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see with children, if they're not racing, they almost always have a size bigger to have the comfort they need.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And they don't rely on the tightness of the boot in the same way because their body moves so much better.
And different.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And with the boots, do you get many people that come back that have had their boot for a number of years and they think something has gone wrong, or maybe they're too big now or something like that, and you keep the shell but you give them a new liner, or is the higher percentage that you just put them in a whole new boot?
Yeah, it depends on the age of the boot and the situation.
Right.
If they sometimes bought a boot somewhere else and it's very wrong,
right,
or whatever, it depends on how far away we are from the perfect fit.
Right. Okay.
If we're over here, this new boot is the only solution. If we're here, we can adapt it and get them into a much better feeling. Right. There's a lot of ways we can do it. Okay. And there's also, of course, a really cool part of our situation. I always say we're a little bit in luxury boat because, of course, we're in Zermatt, but we're in a resort.
Yeah.
So we see the problems people are experiencing in ski boots every day.
Yeah.
We get them walking into us every day. So we have seen the problems already 100 times. I would say I have always one head scratcher a season now, this time.
Yeah.
Because you've seen the issues so many times. So only very rarely someone comes in, you're like, this is an interesting one. And then you have to research and a little bit find the solution, what we need.
So are most people coming in because they want to buy a new boot, or are most people coming in because they've got a boot that they're not happy with?
No, most people coming in to us to buy new boots.
Oh, okay, so they actually physically want a new boot.
Yeah.
But when people come in and they're like, I've got some issue with my boot, what is the most common issue that people have? Is it like discomfort or too big, or hurts?
It's pain, discomfort because it's too big.
Oh, okay.
That's the main reason.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So the movement of the foot in the boot causes more pain than the compression.
Correctly.
Right.
Because it's sort of like, to explain the ski boot fit easily, you have to see our fit is mobile. Otherwise we couldn't walk. We also saw your foot analyze what's happening. It's a lot of motion, it's a lot of movement. We're taking mobile objects and we put in a plastic shell. the idea of only doing that officially is very stupid, right? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But when we do that, we have to lock it in as much as possible, because the mobility in the foot, the mobile object, wants, of course, to move naturally.
Yes.
And when it can move within a plastic shell, it's actually the movement inside the shell causing the most issues.
Okay.
Yeah, not that it's very tight.
Right.
Of course, too tight, again, reference is always one thing.
Yeah.
In combination with your physically body and everything. But mostly it's the movement.
So when you're fitting the boot, what are the top 3 most important things that they should feel? So for example, where you can feel the toe when you're not flexing.
Yeah.
That might not be one of them, but are there other things like that? Like what would you look for in terms of the top sort of things for them to know that is going to be a good fit for them?
Yeah, so the toe feeling is always also a little bit flexibility related. So we always look to that before we give them a boot, and then we can adapt it because we see what's going on. But number 1, I would say, is heel hold.
Okay.
That you're really locked in the heel.
So in order to feel heel hold, you're going to stand up
and lean forward
and flex,
yeah.
and you don't want the heel lifting inside the boot.
Not sideways, not up and up.
Okay.
It's really, you really need to feel sort of a lock-in feeling.
Okay.
And of course, with the length and all this, we also look with your naked foot in the shell first.
Right.
We measure and we think we see what you need. Then we bring up a shell and we start to look inside the shell, and we can already see how much space it is, also around the heel and the length. And then of course with different liners, we find a solution of what would be the perfect fit.
Okay, so heel hold is basically the most important, thing.
Yeah.
And then with the boots in general, there's a couple of other factors involved, isn't there? You've got the canting of the boot.
Yeah.
Is that something that you adjust very often? 'Cause I presume not so much.
We do, but of course, there's two different concepts of canting. You can cant a whole boot.
Yes.
You can cut them. We do
just
it.
the cuff.
Yeah, or cuff, but also alignment with the footbed.
Right. Okay.
And that's much more the natural, dynamic approach.
Okay.
And then it's more about what your body is doing.
Okay.
Sometimes when we see that something is a bit off, we actually give the people some exercises or inputs, what they have to work on to try to correct this.
Okay.
Instead of canting the boot, ignore the issue.
But theoretically then, the insole should correct your canting.
The alignment, yeah. The
Okay,
alignment, yeah.
okay.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing was the ramp angle.
Yeah.
Because one thing I learned with playing around, you can put
heel lift.
You can put things in the boot, yeah. But I noticed when I was trying to get forward more, which is most beginners' toughest thing.
Yeah.
My idea was, if I put something underneath my heel and I put a spoiler in the back, it's
you get
gonna
more forward. Yeah.
But I immediately noticed that I was back.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're essentially being put off balance.
Yeah.
So you're having to counterbalance your forward lean by leaning back.
Yeah.
But do you ever need to do anything with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, really?
For I would say for the general customer, very often.
Really?
Very often. But it has to do to reference of flexibility in how sporty you are and how you're standing. Okay. So a lot of people don't really manage to stand like this the whole day.
Right, yeah.
Then when we put in a heel lift, it automatically gives you more toe room. There's a lot of things that goes into that.
Oh, right.
It's sort of putting the front of the boot closer to your shin, so you need to lean less forward to come further back.
Right, okay.
So it makes it sort of easier. It's actually great that we can do it. We have different thicknesses and we can adapt it to that as well.
Oh, right, so that's because I thought that would only be a once in a 50 people.
Oh, no.
But you're looking at the ramp angle on pretty much every single person.
Yeah, and adapt it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So when someone stands up like this now and they're just flexed into their boots slightly.
Yeah.
What are you looking at to potentially
change the ramp
modify
angle?
The ramp angle.
It's, for example, a very good reference is that they don't come too far over your toes.
Okay.
Or that they complain about the toe space.
Right.
Even though we know there's enough physical space in the shell.
Right.
Then we see, okay, we need to change the ramp angle.
So if someone felt like they didn't have enough toe space, but you know that they have, how would you adjust that with ramp angle?
We just put in this heel lift to raise them. We can do tests with how much. We put in 4 to 6 mil, and automatically they're gonna feel that more toe room.
Oh, really? What? Because they're being put more pressure on?
Because you're changing the angle. So when you're doing this, the cuff angle is less
Right.
So it's more
okay.
upright.
Oh,
So
okay.
they need to engage, lean less forward to come further back. There's biomechanics, right? So what we're trying to do is put you closer here. So when you lean forward, your heel comes easier further back.
Right. Okay.
So we're adapting it to
okay, I
that.
see,
So it's
yeah.
sort of like your shin is closer to the boot, and it automatically pushes you further back.
Okay, and then they have more toe room because the shape of the front of the foot.
Yeah, and because they need to lean less forward. That's
Get
sort of
the
it.
space.
Exactly, because we need to lean forward to come back in the boot, right? If we're standing like this, because of the angle, the calf will hit on the back of the boot,
Yeah.
and we slide to the front.
Right. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then I guess like over time, as they potentially get better, they might take that out when they're better at flexing.
Yeah, or if they're better in flexibility,
Yeah, flexibility.
like really
yeah.
in the muscle,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
foot. There's
Yeah.
more reference to that. There's also a lot of very good skiers using it.
Yeah.
It's just very personal preference.
Yeah,
and
for
how
sure.
you ski, what type of skis you're skiing. So it's really about some racers or so. They always aim with their center of gravity over there. They're really almost on their toes.
Yes.
Meanwhile, a bit more freeride skiers and everything, we're trying to aim much more down
Right. Yeah.
and be much more like upright. So
Right.
almost somebody holding a rope
Right.
and you're up more here.
Oh, okay.
So it's really reference to that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, thanks, Tim. That was brilliant.
Thank
I
you,
really
Adam.
appreciate that. And we're going to basically, they might be finished soon, so we're going to go and check on the Moxis insoles, and I'm going to try them today. And then what I'll do is I will tag on to the end of this, like my thoughts after the first day of using them, and then we can feed that back. And there's also going to be lots of videos about the Moxis on my social media, so if you want to check that out, then have a look at that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.